Hello. Hello, chat. Just waiting for some more people to get in, but we should be good. I think I've got everything. I think I've got everything sorted out. We are just about to get started. Hello. Scare, I think. I think you pronounce it like that. Scare. Hello. Or scared. Yes. Okay. On the chat I'm looking at, it's translating to from some other language. I don't know why that's happening, but that's okay. If I hover over it, I can see. Scared. I saw you get shouted out in one of the newer Gibby videos, so congrats on that, dude. That's awesome. I think it's the same person. I think I recognize your profile picture there. Yes. Okay. Just gonna wait for some more people to join. Yes, dude, that's awesome. that's super cool. Congrats. Maybe Gibby can be redeemed after all. All right, but yes, all right. So today we're gonna be reacting to some old MatPat theories, and yes, I did see that Withered Circle just came out with a video about MatPat, which I haven't watched yet, but I was actually planning to do this earlier, so that was kind of just a coincidence. He was in the chat while Nervous react to my theory. Oh, that's awesome. I got to I still haven't seen it yet, Scared, but I'm definitely gonna check it out. But that's super cool. That's awesome. All right, just waiting for some more people to come in. Crap. All right, and yes, I have figured out how to have chat show up on the screen. I don't know how well you can actually see that. It took me probably about an hour to get that working. I was trying to use Streamlabs, which I know is like the popular one, and that has like a built-in like chat widget thing. And I was trying to use that, but that before the first time I streamed the other day, and I was literally working for like ever to set that up. The audio, there was audio issues and stuff, and then when I finally got it working, I went to go stream, and then it was just there was an error, and it didn't work. So I'm just using OBS now because it's what I'm used to, which unfortunately does not have a built-in chat thing. So I have worked my way around it. All right, yeah, let's get started on the video. So this one is from September 1st, 2015, Why FNAF Will Never End. I wanted to watch this one because this is actually his first video before Dream Theory, his first like FNAF 4 reaction before Dream Theory came out. Hey, Mactacular, hey, good to see you, dude. Thanks for stopping by. And yes, there will be lore. There will be lore, of course, with MatPat. But yeah, this one I think is interesting because it's his first FNAF 4 theory ever, and I think it gets overlooked a lot because people know about Dream Theory, those who know about Dream Theory, but people, I don't think people look at this one enough. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
There's gotta be a code to open this. Bite of 87. New text? I must be close. Incident of 83. 1 movie. 11 animatronics. 11 kids. 1 phone guy. 1 killer. Hex code for purple backwards. Is that Markiplier?
Yes, MatPat, it was me. It was me the whole time, and that's no theory.
Yeah, I always thought this intro was pretty cool. I actually don't remember. I think he says that the bite victim's the puppet in this one. Also, guys, let me know if the audio's too loud or if it's too quiet.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to the Five Nights at Freddy's podcast. Oh, sorry, I mean Game Theory. Game Theory. The show that covers theories on other games in the 2-week intervals between new installments of FNAF. But if I'm ever going to see requests for games other than FNAF 4 in my Twitter feed, this video needed to be made. Because, I have a confession, Internet, I made a mistake in my last FNAF video. Not my research, mind you. My conclusion that this kid scientifically could not be the Bite of 87 victim was...
That was his... So I guess that was his first FNAF 4 theory before FNAF 4 actually came out, where because of the, 87 teasers, which we were actually talking about last stream, but because of those teasers, people thought that, the game was going to be about the Bite of 87. Actually, no, you know what? I think that one came out... It did come out right after FNAF 4 came out. So it was sort of... But I don't think he had enough time to, fully put together... Was that the Bite of 87? No. Spiffy young lad, it is not. But I guess MatPat thought so at the time. But yeah, that one was more of a scientific one, I think, where he was looking at, oh, if someone's frontal lobe gets bitten off, they can't have dreams, which is interesting. But, yeah. Actually, hold on one sec. I'm Fredbear. I think you might have been in here earlier, but nice to see you again. Hold on one sec, guys. I'm going to get rid of the cursor. I think that's better. Yeah, because my cursor's kind of flying around the screen. Yeah, I think that's better. Yes. But yeah, let's keep watching.
It's actually 100% right, both scientifically and, as you've been eager to point out, lore-wise. No, I was wrong in calling this the Bite of 87. I'm man enough to admit my mistakes. Hey, it's why they're called theories after all, right? Anyway, in this case, Scott was sure to let me know my error in his first comment on any of my videos on the franchise to my knowledge, which was really exciting, but it did leave me wondering, should I feel honored or trolled?
Dude, that's actually
and let me just say, because you were asking...
That's actually crazy that Scott commented like that. He would never... I mean, I guess he's retired now, but I feel like he used to do this stuff with Game Theory, but then never again.
I didn't delete that comment. I only delete comments from game theorist bots. No, I don't want your free PSN codes, okay? So I guess Scott must have deleted it himself. Maybe there was a typo. Or maybe a clue to FNAF 5. Before we get that far ahead, let's close the book on FNAF 4. First, let's set the record straight on where it takes place. It does not take place in Fredbear Family Diner, but rather the first location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the one from the old phone guy tapes found in FNAF 3. But the Springlock yellow suits are the only ones there, I hear you typing. And you're right, they obviously are, but remember, phone guy's tapes in FNAF 3 welcome you to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, not Fredbear Diner, before he tells you about their, quote, specially designed suit.
Wait, hold on, sorry, I zoned out for a second. Is he saying...
First, let's set the record straight on where it takes place. It does not take place in Fredbear Family Diner,
dude,
but
that's crazy, dude. Okay, I agree with this, actually. It really seems like it is Fredbear's Family Diner, because Fredbear, the frickin' yellow bear is all over the place. He's like looks like the main mascot of it, but I feel like as time goes on, it's like more and more likely that it's not actually Fredbear's. Just so much more stuff makes sense if it's just regular Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. You know what I'm talking about? And I think that that's getting more popular too, for people to think that, based on the comments I've seen on my videos. Yeah, like my whole, bite victim as the 5th MCI kid was kind of operating on the assumption that FNAF 4 is at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza because that's where the MCI happened. And yeah, especially what MatPat's about to talk about here, I think, with the spring lock suits. It just makes a lot of sense.
Rather, the first location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the one from the old phone guy tapes found in FNAF 3. But the spring lock yellow suits are the only ones there, I hear you typing. And you're right, they obviously are, but remember, phone guy's tapes in FNAF 3 welcome you to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, not Fredbear Diner, before he tells you about their, quote, specially designed suits.
Yeah.
Roll that cassette tape.
Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Right now, we have 2 specially designed suits that double as both.
So I guess then the only question is kind of like, what is the point of even... Hey, Omni Soap, it's good to see you. He would never cook. I mean, I don't know. This seems like he's cooking to me. Not gonna lie. Maybe it's because I agree with him, but hey. It kind of makes me wonder, like, what was the point of mentioning Fredbear's Family Diner at all? Scared, I disagree, but to be fair, the ultimate... Does it actually? I didn't actually know that. Does the ultimate guide actually... That's actually crazy. I would figure that it would just say something like, oh, it's... some fans think that it's Fredbear's Family Diner, but other fans think this, because that's... From what I've read of the ultimate guide, that seems to be, like, usually the stance it takes on stuff. But yeah, honestly, it just makes me wonder, like, what is the point of having a Fredbear's Family Diner at all if it's never really shown in the games and it never really comes up? It's just weird. It's very weird. Like, I wish that it was more clear cut of which way it was. Yeah. Let's keep
both
on.
animatronic and suit.
Keep on going.
Specially designed, i.e. not in existence during the Fredbear era. Plus, in that same set of phone calls, Phone Guy tells us the suits have become decommissioned after an incident where there were, quote, multiple simultaneous spring lock failures.
I
what
think
do we see at the end
here.
of FNAF 4? An incident where multiple spring locks fail simultaneously, and
No, I mean, I don't know if I even have to explain this. Scared correction calls it Freddy's Restaurant. Oh, that is still interesting though. That's what I called it, I think, in my video, because I was like, whichever one it is, it kind of, I think it works either way for it to be the about the MCI, because they could have been open at the same time. But yeah, I think Freddy's Restaurant is still kind of a weird thing to call it for them. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. The ultimate guide, I don't even know if they know anything. You call them Fazbear established? Yeah, no, that's totally. That's. I think I said the exact same thing, in my video. But yeah, the ultimate guide, I don't know how much Scott actually writes of that or told the writers, like, what to say or not say in that, because a lot of the ultimate guide seems very like, it's just kind of written from like just a fan perspective where they don't actually know anything. But it might just be because, like, Scott doesn't want them to reveal anything. But yeah. That's how I'm back. Oh yeah, I forgot to even explain. But yeah, this isn't a spring lock failure. I think his evidence is that, like, because he's moving around in the mouth, and he's like crying and his tears are wet and whatever, that it's like moistening the spring locks and that causes Fredbear's mouth to close. But I don't think that that's the case. I guess this is also pre-sister. You know what, to be fair, this is pre-sister location, and it wasn't until Sister Location where we heard the, like, you're inside something that came from my old pizzeria. So, like, at this point, if you're trying to figure out the whole timeline, then you would probably think that this is a Sister Location. But he also thinks that it's not Fredbear, so I don't know.
Child dies. And let me be clear, because the terminology is pretty confusing. In the game, the word spring lock is used to describe both the suit as a whole and the individual locking mechanisms within that suit. A spring lock suit is made up of multiple spring locks. To have multiple simultaneous spring lock failures, like Phone Guy says, would either mean multiple suits going down at the same time, which is a bit coincidental and hard to believe, or that multiple locks within the same suit collapse at the same time, causing a catastrophic failure. Say, for instance, because a child is squirming to escape and...
Also, if you guys that are in here right now haven't liked the stream already, please go ahead and like the stream. If you're enjoying so far, just to help me out, I would appreciate it. But thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
And his tears are moistening the locks. Crunch. And besides, don't you think it'd be weird for Fredbear's Diner to use these suits, have them kill a child, sell the company, and then Freddy Fazbear's Pizza starts using them again? It just wouldn't make a lot of sense. Long story long, although Fredbear and Springtrap are the featured attractions at this restaurant, this is a Freddy Fazbear branded joint. One dating back to, as we see on the TV set, 1983. But enough about the timeline. I don't want to dwell on it in this episode. To me, having a general placement of the timeline is enough because the most interesting part of this game is the ending and its overall meaning. Like I said in the other FNAF 4 video, if this was just a random kid who got bit, that would be really lame. So how does this particular kid fit into the overall lore? Why is this incident of 1983 so important to show?
It's funny how this is still a question of, like, what is... Oh, Omnisoap like twice. Thanks, pal. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, this is still a question of, like, what is the importance of this? What is this whole game actually about? We still don't know.
Show who is the...
Or if you watched my video, then we do know. Those who know.
FNAF 4 kid, and what does the ending line of "I will put you back together" mean? Well, let me tell ya, the evidence points to him being the puppet. Let's look at the evidence. First, many have pointed out the streaming tier.
Alright. Bite victim is the puppet, huh? I don't know about that. I think Daco also thought this at the time. I think it was a big debate. And honestly, it's fair enough because, like, where is the puppet in this? If I want to say Charlotte? Jesus. I want to say Charlotte, but there was no Charlotte at this point. So I don't know if Scott would have even had any reason to show the puppet being here. But I guess I understand why people thought that. The one thing is, though, is that, like, even all the way back then, there was still the FNAF 2, like, save him minigame, which kind of showed the puppet. Scared you understand? Yeah. No, I mean, it is weird because, like he's crying. He has a striped shirt, which is so weird. I mean, I guess we'll see what Matt says, you know. I don't want to be like, that was so obviously wrong, because, you know, at the time it's like they didn't know shit.
Tears down the kid's face, which mimic the tears down the puppet's mask. Okay,
True.
Sure, that was good evidence when we first saw them in FNAF 2, but at this point, those nice pixelated streams are on nearly every chubby-cheeked kid who's ever entered these restaurants. So
true.
Alone, it's not much to go on. But we can take it one step further. While the tears themselves might not be interesting, look at this. It's a screen from the Mangle minigame back in FNAF 3. This weird, crying, giant silhouette was just kinda out of place in the last game, and all us FNAF theorists just kinda glossed over it in our analyses, since, seriously...
This is weird. This like, giant puppet, or giant crying child, I have no idea, in the, like, FNAF 3 minigames is very weird. I'm trying to think of like what could be the best. I know there's a lot of theories for it. In my video where I talked about the FNAF 3 mini games, I didn't really talk about it in particular because it, like, part of me just thinks that it's like, it's just a creepy looking thing that Scott put in because he wanted to have creepy, weird, like glitched out, distorted stuff in the background, and it doesn't really mean much of anything. Because I think people read into the Happiest Day or just the FNAF 3 mini games, not the Happiest Day one, but, you know, all of the other ones, like Mangle's Quest and the Chica one. I think people read into them really deeply. Scared says, I think it might be to communicate that we're in a spirit realm. I think that there's a lot of hints towards that with a spirit we recognize. So I guess the thing is, though, about that is that, like, in FNAF 3, we hadn't seen the crying child yet, unless you're saying that it's supposed to be the puppet. Like, it's supposed to be the, you know, whatever. We didn't have Charlotte as a name yet, but if it's supposed to be Charlotte, the equivalent of Charlotte back then in FNAF 3, that would actually, I think, make a lot of sense. The puppet. Yeah, you know, I figured. Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely valid for what it could have been at the time. Because I think there's a lot of creepy stuff. Like, I think, you know, all of the, like, crying balloon boys, and the, like, tree, the weird tree looking thing in the other mini game. Like, I think all that stuff is also trying to communicate that it's like a haunted scenario that we're dealing with, for sure.
Seriously, what is it? I mean, it kind of looks like the puppet, right? With its overall fabric feel and its thin striped legs. I mean, that's what I thought at the time, but again, there was really no reason to bring it up since it just didn't fit anywhere. But now we have a new game and new information that might make this make sense. Look at its body position. Notice anything specific about it? It resembles a position we see our FNAF 4 kid in a lot.
See, that I don't know about.
Including his final scene, kneeling down to...
That I don't know about. I can see what he was going for, though.
Streaming tear tracks and his face turned 2/3 toward the camera. Do you see the connection here? But not only that, look at what our kid wears. A black and gray striped shirt. And remember, this is in a world where all the other kids are generally wearing single color outfits. It's an oddly specific detail. Now I ask you, what's the signature look for the puppet? None other than black and white stripes. But besides those design details, consider that there's no sign of the puppet anywhere in this game, and yet practically every other animatronic is present in some form, meaning that this game likely exists.
So I guess if we're thinking about what Scott was trying to do at the time, Seeker of Comfiness, I've seen you before. If you are the same Seeker of Comfiness, I think I've seen you in T-Dread's chat before, so it's nice to see you here. CC looks like the puppet, and his birthday looks like Happiest Day because he's the puppet in Happiest Day. Oh, you think that? Oh, I don't think I've actually heard that before, that in Happiest Day, CC would be the puppet delivering the cake, and then I guess would you think that, like, Cassidy is the Golden Freddy kid in that scenario? It's you? Oh yeah, dude, it's nice to meet you. But yeah, I'm guessing you would think that if CC's not Golden Freddy in Happiest Day, then it's Cassidy, which, you know, I obviously a lot of people think. Yeah, that's actually interesting. So what do you think about, like, do you think that because now we have Charlotte and stuff, and in the movie, in the books we have, well, I guess never mind the books, but we have Charlotte in the, like, after FNAF 4, after Happiest Day and all that. So do you think Scott, like, went back and changed it? Like so it's just in Happiest Day, the puppet was supposed to be CC, but then he added Charlotte later? Or do you think that CC is just the puppet, like, going forward after that? I think FNAF World supports it too, since Yellow Eyes said he has to find the Happiest Day. That is true. I have been purposefully avoiding FNAF World, honestly, in my videos, because In my sister location video, I talked about the I will put you back together thing, and there is also that in FNAF World. And I think I'd want to make another video about that, just about like who is the yellow eyes in that, and who is the player. But yeah, no, that's interesting. I wonder if that is what Scott was actually trying to do in that. And then he must have changed his mind after that, right? As I don't think that, like, he must have done FNAF. If that is the case, then he must have done FNAF 4 and then been like, nobody really understood it, so I'm not gonna continue with this crying child being the puppet thing. But no, that is interesting. I do wonder. I wonder if that is actually the case at the time. I hope not.
Exists at a time when the puppet has yet to be created. Remember when he just kind of showed up in FNAF 2? Which, I should remind you, takes place 4 years later than this game. He just kind of came out of nowhere. Well, this could be the puppet's origin story.
True.
This idea of kid as puppet also works really well with the locked box at the end. What's in there besides Markiplier's stunning face and buttery voice? A puppet. As we see in FNAF 2, he has a habit of coming out of boxes, and he's the only one who can bend and fold up into a space that's small.
Hold on. Paul, have you ever thought the toys that the kids have in FNAF 4 minigames can attack people? That would be crazy. That would be really that would be totally off the wall. If that is the case, that would be a great video to watch. And I think that's still him as a puppet in. Yeah, Secret of Confidence, the thing is like, it's really hard to, like, argue against that, because if, like, my best evidence for Crying Child being Golden Freddy is just Happiest Day, and that it's his birthday party, but if you just flip that as he's the puppet, and it just looks like his birthday party, then that's pretty hard to argue against. But I guess my biggest thing with it is I just wouldn't really like if that's the case. That's how Frights explains Plush Trap. Okay, yeah, the thing is, though, I was thinking about Plush Trap. I believe in Arcade Theory. Oh yeah, I agree with that too. I remember, watching that 8-hour Gibby video a few years ago when it came out, and it was like, it actually got me back into FNAF. I think it did for a lot of people. But I saw Arcade Theory and I was like, that is the best explanation for, like, everything going on. So I do partially agree with Arcade Theory. Like, I think if you're looking for, like, a really in-game reason for the mini games happening, and they're not just completely meta, like, they're not completely removed from the game, then that is the best explanation. Oh, okay, so he's not the puppet in the real world. I see what you mean. So okay, so if CC is entering as the player characters in all the different that is very interesting. That is interesting. I don't remember if Gibby mentioned that part specifically in Arcade Theory. I haven't watched that video in a while, but no, that's very interesting. I wonder if there's any universe where, like, MatPat could have figured that out somehow, or, like, MatPat could have come to that conclusion at this time, at the time that we're talking about in this video. Because we already at that point we didn't have FNAF World, but we had the mini games, and we had Happiest Day, we had the Bite Victim, so I don't know.
Small, but there's even
I don't think the puppet's in the box, by the way. Just before we move
more
on
evidence
from that.
when you look at the timeline. Now, I challenge you to ask yourself one question. What exactly is the child afraid of in this game? Why does he hate this restaurant so much? The easy answer would seem to be the animatronics, but that
it would explain Scott pointing out tiny toys be big. Yeah, that is a good point. The tiny toy Chica Beak, dude. Why did he have to say that? Like, what? Like, could he not have given, like, a more specific hint to what he was talking about? Like, of all the things he could have... Like, I think 4 games, if we're talking about those hints for a second, I think 4 games, 1 story is a solid hint. Because he was trying to say, like, no, it's like FNAF 4 is part of the continuity of, like, what the other games have been about. It's not just about a random kid, because I think that's kind of the line that they were going down on that live stream. So I think that was a good hint. The scene in the shadows thing could have been a good hint, but the Toy Chica one, I have no idea what he's talking about. I think that the whole God victim, influence victim thing is kind of the most solid explanation for that. But I do like the toy thing you guys are talking about. The toys are attacking people, and that could be, yeah, because Plush Trap's also in that minigame. Yeah, that's interesting stuff.
That be wrong. It's important to note that at the time of the cutscene minigames, he's not scared of Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. When you walk over the pile of plushies in the corner, we see that he considers these characters as his friends.
Those who know that they are his friends, literally.
Foxy is kinda in that camp too, but to a slightly lesser degree because his brother has started scaring him with the Foxy mask, hence the head being pulled off. Even the weird psychic friend Fredbear isn't a scary presence for him, so clearly he's not scared of the characters. Is he scared of the people working at the restaurant? The purple guy? Maybe, but that's not quite the full answer either. Again, watch how he behaves. When trying to escape the worker in the Fredbear outfit, he can't muster the courage to run past the show stage with the yellow suits. He collapses in fear. And when the bullies drag him over to the stage, he's freaking out. Clearly, what he is specifically afraid of.
Sorry guys, it takes me a while to freaking switch between chat and the video because I have one monitor like a chud. I'm literally just streaming from my MacBook. I don't have a PC. I do not have a streaming setup, so it takes me a moment to do anything. Scott can't help but be vague. Yeah, I agree, Seeker of Comfiness. It's like he wants people to know, but he also just does not want to give anything away at all. Like, I think I think it's the first Daco interview. We should honestly react to that someday. I think that might be cool. But in the first Daco interview, he's talking about the Digidog. Hello. Hello. I think in that interview he's talking about like which Springlock suit is in Sister Location, and he says that he can't answer it. And then it's like, is that because it has a real answer, or is it and that it would just be giving away way too much about the story to say that, or does he just not want to even say that there's no answer, that it's a fucking Springlock suit and don't think about it, like it doesn't have any you know what I mean? It's just stuff like that. I think the Toy Chica Beak is another instance of that. It's referencing the future because everything has already happened. Yeah, I think that's I think I agree with the God victim stuff more, but I do think that's a very valid interpretation. Movie script where toys attack the town. Oh yeah, I do remember that. That's very weird. I wonder what that movie would have been like. I'm glad he's indirect. Yeah, it's really hard. Like I think Scott knows that if he's the moment that he's actually directly confirming stuff is the moment that people stop talking about the game as much. So I think that he definitely likes to keep stuff vague, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of really annoying stuff that doesn't need to be vague. Like the retcon that he talks about, like what is the one retcon, where he's like, I actually made one retcon, but nobody knew what it was. Like that is one thing that he could just say, and I don't feel like it would be that big of a deal. So I think there's some stuff that it's like, it's just kind of annoying to not have a straight answer to that, honestly. Benja CPS just started watching the video talk about the Forever Plush Money of how The Faz Talker. Okay, yes. I know. There are... oh, Digidog, what video is this? I'm watching MatPat's second FNAF 4 theory. So it was right before Dream Theory, but it was pretty much right after the game came out. But yeah, the Faz Talker, yeah, I don't know if the Faz Talker is supposed to be calling back to the... This is the thing with the movie. It's like, I really wish that the movie just leaned more into game lore stuff. Even if it was... Because imagine if instead of the Faz Talker, Abby got like a haunted plush. Like, I feel like that would be so much more interesting, and it would actually let us know like what... I don't know, what Scott was thinking about more. Personally, like about God Victim, that everything... I know, that is scared. That is very true. I think that is the biggest issue with it. It's kind of a shitty story if it's like he just caused everything to happen. I think that's the biggest problem with it, is that it kind of takes away agency from a lot of characters. I think it would be better if confirmed stuff and big stuff was more... Yeah, I agree. Secret of Comfiness. I think the Forever Flush... Yeah, see what... In my, my last video, I talked about the possibility of it being William, and I just do not think that it's true. Like when the Forever Flushy's eyes open. Oh yeah, okay, so that is something I didn't really mention, is that in a lot of shots, it's like he has glowing eyes, and then in some shots in FNAF 4, he just has blank, like, black eyes. I honestly don't think that means anything. I think that was just Scott kind of doing like a sloppier... I don't want to say sloppy, but just kind of copy and pasting assets around when he's making the game and not thinking about it that much. Because that is just such a small, minute thing that it feels random to me. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a pattern of like, he has his eyes open in this one, and he doesn't have his eyes open in the other one. But I know that obviously that is something to talk about. Like that, it could definitely mean something. It's just that would kind of annoy me, because it's so just minute. One thing to note: the only time we see Freya's eyes lit up outside, it's a playground. Yes, I have heard that. I have heard that before. And that is like an important scene because of the tiny toy Chica beak thing, so that could mean something. Personally, I think the plush is Elizabeth. Secret of Confidence. You're gonna have to explain that a little more. I have heard that before, but it's so hard to even counter anything about the plush, because it's like, yeah, who the fuck knows? Steel Wool is trying to build a straightforward story. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if the Steel Wool story is cooking. I think the Secret of the Mimic story is pretty good, because I think Scott kind of solely took writing control of that game, whereas like Security Breach and Help Wanted was like an absolute train wreck, in my opinion. I don't want to be too negative, but I don't know if they're cooking. I only think William made the plush in the sense that he killed the spirit. Oh, that's interesting. That is... so it could be both in that way. Another reason I believe Toys are killer, because... Oh yeah, so the plush baby in Help Wanted, does it come up anywhere else? And also Eliza Toy Girl. Yeah, I know a lot of people... I think there was just a recent video talking about that. First of all, Scott went out of his way to include the empty room. Yes, I agree, Secret of Compiness. I don't know if you saw my last video, but that was a big point of evidence for me, because I think it's like, in a narrative, unless Scott is just like absolutely just out of his fucking gourd, if you're writing something, you're showing an empty kid's room, and I think that literally that is supposed to mean that kid is gone. They're missing, or they're fucking lost somewhere, or they're dead, They're just not there. They're narratively not there. And if it was Elizabeth being the toy girl, then she just happens to be down the street at the time, which I just think it's like logically, yes, that does make sense, but like narratively, that seems really bad. I mean, yeah, and again, it's like that could be the case, but I strongly feel like an empty Elizabeth room is supposed to tell us that she's gone. She's already dead. I don't know what's going on with the plush babies. Yeah, me neither. Aren't the plush babies based on the star babies? I don't actually know. There's a Mangle in that room, and Mangle is described as a pull apart. Oh, okay, yeah. See, okay, so Seeker of Confidence, I think that is good evidence, but and I also talked about this in my video about the different usages of like put back together, because you have the Fredbear plush saying it obviously, and then you have I got 16 people. Sorry, I didn't realize the viewer count actually went up a little bit. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. But yeah, I talk about the different uses of like take apart, put back together in the game. And I think that they're used to describe different instances a lot of the time, that aren't supposed to be put as like, this is the same thing happening twice. You know what I mean? But the Mangle thing could be true. Okay. And, Scott wants us to believe that the brothers, had a dead sister. I think that would be really cool, and that would be a really good story, but I just wish that there was more of an overt attempt from Scott to like make that be the case. Or actually, yeah, that really could. I gotta look into Eliza plush more. I actually gotta look into that more. That's not because that would actually kind of make a lot of things make sense. You always watch your latest vid. Bacon ABC. Take about the Forever plush. Just his plush CC liked, and as he got older, started seeing him. Yeah, I don't know about the imaginary friend thing. I think it's more. Honestly, the way I see the Fredbear plush in FNAF 4 is that it's really just the trope of like the spooky kid who sees ghosts. So I think it's like it halfway is his imaginary friend, but it's also like a haunted spirit. I don't know if it's like physically a plush. The Mangle Sisters room. Yeah. Paul, you really got him. I don't know if you make videos, but if you should definitely make this like toy killer theory, because you have a lot of evidence for it. I think that'd be really interesting. In FNAF World Final yes. Okay, yes. And you did Seeker of Confidence mention the slightly different shape of eyes. That's another small thing that it's like, I don't know if that's supposed to mean anything. Because if it is just the same eyes, I think MatPat also used that in one of his videos, but that would explain a lot of stuff. Okay, Scared, exactly. Abby and her imaginary friends is exactly how I see Fredbear plush in the games. Like, I see that as like a very strong... Because he literally says, these are my friends. I see the parallels with that. Like, I strongly believe that he's just a spooky kid. You know, he's a spooky kid. He's seeing spooky stuff. Who do you think has the most accurate full storyline pieced together? Benja, I have no idea. I don't. I really like Gibby's 8-hour video, even though it has Will Care in it, and I don't think that's his motivation, but I think it's a well put together story. I don't know who has like the best, full story overall. And Digidog in Sister Location, I think he looks physical, but he could also be kind of an apparition in that too, because Golden Freddy looks physical in the games that he's in, but I think he's also an apparition. And yeah, something is wrong. That's why I'm here. Yeah. That's went through the same as CC. Yeah. And we know Elizabeth was broken. Oh, Kaz, what's going on? Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. And we know that Elizabeth broke it. Okay, so the thing Secret accompanies with that is that I don't think that Elizabeth is put back together in the same way as Cece. I think that Cece is put back together like spiritually, but Elizabeth is getting put back together physically in like a gross way because Ennard, Ennard gets put back together. I think that's more of what it means. And Paul, can you help me out? Okay, so the thing is, Paul, I think that making videos is a very accessible... I wouldn't say that it's like easy to learn. I think that it is a very accessible creative medium because there's a lot of different ways to do it. Like when I used to make like shitty commentary videos like 10 years ago, and I literally just edited with like Windows Movie Maker and Audacity and the same microphone that I'm using now, which is a fucking blue snowball. But I think that if you ever are interested in making videos, I think that you really should. You can just get CapCut, like the free version. Try to just use as much free stuff as possible. And as long as you have a good idea, I think that you can make it work. So I don't think that you really need like editing skills, quote unquote. I think that if you just poke around with it enough, then yeah. Flush seems to agree. Okay, Digidog, I think you are actually right. I think we do have to move on. I think we might be getting sidetracked. I had my first year on my iPad. Yeah, exactly. But yes, I think we're gonna move on. Sorry, I'm not very slick with streaming of like, no, let's move back to the video. I'm just kind of enjoying chatting, but I'll be keeping an eye on chat. Let's just get a little bit further in the video.
Of in this restaurant is the yellow Springtrap suits, whether in animatronic mode or suit mode, which begs one question: why?
Emmers, we are watching
MatPat's
first or second FNAF.
Look at the dialogue running through the kid's head.
Theory.
Hurry the other way and find someone who will help. You know what happens if he catches you. That line would be easy to write off as this just being a scared kid who believes the ghost stories he's heard from the dead-eyed girl he talks to on the way home. She's creepy. If it wasn't for one thing, this other line. No, don't you remember what you saw? This kid actually saw something. A crime.
I agree, man.
Something terrible in these restaurants. It would seem to imply that he saw another child get shoved into one of these suits. This would also explain the strange brown pixels sticking out of the...
Alright, so I don't know about the brown pixels. I don't know about the brown pixels. I don't know if that's wires or what that's supposed to be. But it's so hard for me to believe that, like, don't you remember what you saw is anything other than the MCI. He saw something. And I know that it's like the shadow, what's seen in the shadows is misunderstood. But to me, that could literally just dude, I kind of wish that I said this in my video because I think it's pretty smart sounding, honestly. But, I think that like the misunderstanding is that he saw his friends get stuffed into the suits, so therefore he thinks that his plushies are literally his friends, because he's a kid, and that's how he's like coping with the trauma. He's like these are my friends. These plushies are my friends, which I actually. I actually wish that I brought that up because I think that makes a lot of sense. What is the thought on him seeing Elizabeth? I don't think he saw Elizabeth or Charlie dying. I definitely don't. I could see maybe Elizabeth, but I could see even less so Charlie, because I think Charlie died in 87. Those who know, no, but I don't. It seems like if he saw Charlie dying, he doesn't really have a reason to be afraid of the springlock suits. Same with Elizabeth, actually. And Emmers, thanks for watching my video. I appreciate it. Yeah, Friends are the classics. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
out of the yellow body backstage. A tuft of hair, perhaps? All of these details also fit with the character I've been lovingly calling Psychic Friend Fredbear. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who are you gonna call? Psychic Friend Fredbear. I mean, seriously, what is this thing? Sometimes he's a bear, sometimes he's referencing it, and sometimes he's a flower? Okay. At first, it seemed like the creepy little toy was nothing but an imaginary friend. That was until the final moments after the bite, when we see the bear's signature yellow text. But this time, instead of parroting back the kid's feelings like he usually does, he shows that he is clearly in possession of a mind of his own, saying all kinds of creepy things like, "You're broken. We're still your friends. Don't you believe that? And I'm still here. I will put you back together."
Just wait for Scott to Scott Connors to be
M1,
M1,
a split
please
personality of the kid or anything.
That would be
this
so
is a
ridiculous.
Separate entity. This is a spirit. This is someone who knows the danger of getting caught by the people wearing those suits. This is the victim that our FNAF 4 kid saw getting stuffed. This is Golden Freddy,
we were talking about that earlier.
Guy's first victim. And I know you're...
And my take on that is that I think it's random. I'm not on board with the eyes being on and off meaning stuff. Although it is weird. Thanks to Secret of the Mimic, everything is the Mimic now. I don't know. I am kind of looking forward to whatever the next Steel Wool game is going to be, even though I'm not a huge fan of the Steel Wool games, just because I want to see what is the point of all of the Mimic stuff. But I don't know. Something tells me that it's not gonna go. I don't think that this whole Steel Wool storyline is gonna go and like re-explain a bunch of stuff from Cassidy first. Your band. Just kidding. I don't know if it's gonna be like the Mimic is actually Psychic Friend Fredbear and William and Springtrap. I think that it will probably just end up explaining more security breach stuff, but we'll see. I am interested to find out. I just hope it doesn't go back and like fucking change everything.
I know you're rushing to the comments now to say that this changes a lot of things and goes against stuff we've been saying for a while, but don't worry, we'll address it. Just get excited. We've pinpointed the identities of our two most mysterious animatronics. This is an awesome revelation from an evidence standpoint, but to be honest, it's a little disappointing from a storytelling standpoint. Here's why. We humans all have a proven psychological need to complete things. This need is called...
This part, I think there's not a lot of lore in this part. But I think he goes on to talk about how it can be... Yeah, I'm just going to skip over that part because there's no lore. If you're not bringing me lore, then shut up! Honestly, once the Steel Wool era ends, I think I'm going to pretend the Steel Wool era... Yeah, I don't think the Steel Wool era is going to be looked back on fondly. It has... Like, I did think Secret of the Mimic was cool. I didn't fucking play it because it looks just like a puzzle game with some like chase sequences, so I'm not really eager to play that, but I thought the story of it was cool. Like, I liked Arnold and the whole conflict that he had of like being used by Fazbear and like the secret lore in the emails and stuff. I thought it was cool. But overall, I don't know. I think it's Steel Green Scott plan. Yeah, chopped maxing, absolutely has. I don't think, if it is supposed to be like a re-explained thing, I don't think he's doing the best job of actually like telling a consistent story or anything. I think that it's really all over the place. It shifted sister location being early 80s. Yeah, that's, those who know. I have to stop saying that. I have brain rot. I have T-Dread's brain rot. It's clearly Andrew first. Absolutely. Speaking of brain rot. I really like Modern FNAF Theory. Yeah, Scared. I want to give it more of a chance now that I'm actually making videos and stuff. I was thinking of like different video topics. Oh, actually, while you guys are here, I kind of want to ask the people in here what they think about as a video idea doing more of like a meta theory than like a actual lore video, because all my videos so far have been like solving the lore of FNAF 2. But I was thinking for my next video doing more of a meta thing. One idea I had would be like reviewing some of MatPat's like controversial theories or something. I know people have done that already, so that's not like a really original idea. And then I was also thinking, I just don't know how this would go over, but I was kind of thinking about making one about like the Christian themes in FNAF, because like, you know, Scott is very like openly Christian, and that's like a big part of his identity. And I wanted to think about like how, as the author, he incorporates Christian themes into FNAF, even though they're not like completely overt. I just don't know if people would actually fucking think that was interesting. Like, I think it's interesting, but I just don't know if people would watch that. What about a full timeline vid? No. Bacon ABC. I don't think I will. I don't think I'll ever do a full timeline video. It's so impossible, dude. I think the best I could get is like a timeline from Sister Location to FNAF 4. But full timeline is just like, it would take me forever. It would take me forever. It would be super hard to fit all of the details in. Like, I am interested in it, but no, I don't think I'll do that. I would be in for that. Okay, cool. Duvid's reviewing the books. I also was thinking about doing some kind of book related thing too. I was just watching the Frailty video from Gibby, and appreciate how he brought up the Christianity. Yeah, me too, actually. That actually was kind of fueling my idea more, because I just think it's interesting to like look at Scott as an author. Full timeline videos are chopped, TBH. I mean, I think that there's some good ones, but I just don't really see a point of me making one, because they've been done a million times. I don't have a great full timeline in my head. I prefer kind of looking at like individual games. But yeah, the Frailty video was making me think about like looking at how Scott includes Christian themes into FNAF. But what we would see, I don't know if the algorithm loves Christian FNAF media analysis. But yeah, I will keep thinking about it. It might happen in the future. I'm not really into the idea of doing for my next video another like, I solved fucking pizzeria simulator. Like, I kind of want to try something a little different.
A storytelling standpoint, more pieces actually fit together if the FNAF 4 kid becomes Golden Freddy.
Facts.
And not the puppet. This would make our first victim, the one our FNAF 4 kid sees get killed, the puppet, like we've been hypothesizing.
No.
Since FNAF 2. Suddenly, you have a group of 5 kids celebrating a birthday, one kid associated with each animatronic, with the one representing Golden Freddy being the odd man out.
Yes.
And this scenario perfectly mimics the FNAF 3 good...
Perfectly what? but no, he is right about this. But I do like what Seeker of Confidence was saying earlier about fucking the puppet being CC in this. I think that's really interesting. I would watch it and spread it everywhere. Thank you, Emers. That's super nice of you. Yeah, I am thinking about it. I just wanted to kind of see what other people thought of the idea. If you do, will you include Charlie doing the... Yes. Yes, Seeker of Confidence. That is absolute... So there's a lot of stuff from the second movie. Like, he literally... Mike... there's a lot to say about the second movie. But in... when Abby and Mike are in the fucking FNAF 1 restaurant, and Abby's like, where are my friends? Mike literally is like, maybe they're in heaven. Oh, I think he says that then, and then again later. Charlie Christ, yes. I think he says that again, and then he says that later. FNAF 2 movie is so chopped. I agree. It's not great. He says that later when all of the MCI kids come back, they just fucking leave, and he's like, they're in heaven. But that did make me think of, like, I think that in the games, it's kind of, it's not, like, directly stated, but I think it's kind of subtly, it's implied that, like, when they get freed from Happiest Day, like, when their spirits get freed or whatever, when they're freed from the animatronics, they are, like, going to heaven. And then William obviously goes to hell in UCN, unless it's actually, you know, someone else playing UCN. Even the idea of resurrection. Yeah, exactly. And then I also, this is the other thing. Okay, this is making me kind of want to make this video because William is like the main villain, right? And he's like the worst thing that Scott could come up with. Like, he's the most like vile, evil person. And he is the one who basically stops the kids from going to heaven, and he's kind of interfering with the like quote unquote like divine like process of the kids actually moving on. So I think that's interesting how like William being the villain is like that's what he's doing. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Day minigame, where 5 souls from 5 kids, each representing a different animatronic, reunite to celebrate a birthday that never really happened.
True.
It actually creates a beautifully bookended story of redemption and forgiveness, a reunion of brothers. And yeah, I know the complaints. Don't get me started about the size of the kids being different. They're the spirits of dead children in an 8-bit minigame.
They're not the bullies.
Literalizing the sizes seems to be a bit of a stretch. And it goes even further than that. In the FNAF 2 Give Gifts minigame, the puppet gives life to the dead children, with Golden Freddy as the odd man out who doesn't get a mask and does a ghostly jump scare at the end. That would reflect the 4 bullies getting killed in the pizzeria by Purple Guy in response to this incident, while the one, Golden Freddy, dies somewhere else, like a hospital bed.
God,
I mean, we do see the IV and pills and flowers, and as a result, that's why the puppet...
Like, him inserting himself as God is, like, part of what makes him evil in Scott's in his eyes as the author. I think trying this classic literature like Fez did with Frankenstein. Yeah, I never actually saw that video, but I did hear about it. I'd have to watch it. Maybe I can take some notes, see like what kind of stuff he talked about there. And then yeah, William does do that pose. I just had to fucking reread that graphic novel for my sister location video, and I did see that. I personally interpreted Charlie being compared to Jesus as being a vengeful ghost as commentary on how Charlie being seen. Yeah, actually, okay, so Seeker of Confidence, I actually agree with you. I think a lot of people got mad about the Charlie Christ thing. We are Charlie Christ. Because they were saying that, like, oh, she's fucking, Jesus wasn't a bad guy. Jesus didn't go fucking kill a bunch of people. But I think that it is supposed to be a character development thing. Because whatever happens in the next movie is that Charlie will probably redeem herself in some way. I'm guessing. I don't think she's just going to be evil forever. So I agree, Seeker of Confidence, that it was intentional. It wasn't just Scott being like, oh, she looks like Jesus. How do you feel about Golden Duo? I don't agree. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I think that there's not that much evidence for it other than like the logbook stuff. And just narratively, I think it's kind of silly. So I'm not saying that it's like the worst theory ever, but I just personally don't really like it. Since she's ultimately still an innocent girl. Yeah, exactly. No, Seeker of Confidence, I think you're absolutely cooking. You are cooking. I think that is true. I think that's absolutely what the movie was going for. The bullies died at Afton. What about Michael? Yeah, I don't know about that. I was specifically thinking of Paradise Lost. Yes. I'm not sure of the title either. I'm not really into Christian stuff, but I gotcha. Scott can be redeemed. That's always told me Charlotte was. They always told me Charlotte Ellie was. Yeah, Omni. So you're right. Do I believe in Hill Victim? What the fuck's that again? So the theory names get so like fucking stupid over time. Oh, it's the one that he's the one on the hill. Right? He's the grave on the top hill. I have no idea. I like it. I think that's fine. Yeah, BV on the hill from FNAF. Yeah, from FNAF 6. I don't have a strong feeling about it. I'm not. It should be so weird if he's on the hill and then Charlotte is the 5th grave that's being covered by the grass, because why would she be paired up with the rest of the MCI? I don't know. I don't feel strong. I don't have a strong opinion about all that.
The first victim is able to reach those 4 kids' souls and save them, while Golden Freddy has to behave like a ghost. It also gels with the idea that the Take Cake minigame represents the first victim at the first location, and why the puppet is always the jump scare, because he's the kid we've just watched get killed. So a lot of storytelling pieces fit together, but at the end of the day, that leaves us with too many questions about why Golden Freddy is talking to our FNAF 4 kid. A spirit needs to be inhabiting that bear for the story to make sense, and Scott certainly
the story doesn't make sense. That's the answer. I personally like it with Cassidy's 5th grave. Yeah, I'm not, Cassidy. I'm not. Let's just say. Pilgrim's Progress is a book name. Oh yeah, but that was. I think Scott made a movie and a game, like an animated short film and a game out of that, or adapting that. There's a hidden grave in Midnight Motorist. Are you talking about the mound? Scared? The freaking mound? I don't know what the mound is, dude. The mound is confusing. That's what I'll say. I think that this MatPat video is basically wrapped up. I think we can move on to the next one, because I think he just kind of talks about how we don't know if it's the puppet or Golden Freddy. I kind of wanted to watch his. I think so. Can you guys see this right now? Yeah. So we have Dream Theory, which we don't need to watch because everyone, we all know about that. And then his one after that was like, what would it be without Dream Theory? And I think he kind of mostly goes over again the same kind of evidence that he did in this video, if I'm not mistaken. So I kind of wanted to watch his sister location theory. This one was like a prediction one. I don't know, chat. Do you guys have any opinions about which MatPat video to watch out of kind of these ones? When Midnight Motorist video. Okay, so that was actually one of my ideas, but I definitely wouldn't want to do like Midnight Motorist has been solved, because there's like 100 million videos exactly like that already, and I have a really boring opinion on Midnight Motorist. I think that it's literally just not William. I think it's just it's the MCI father of an MCI victim. I don't know what the fuck the mound is, but that's what I think. So if I were to do a Midnight Motorist video, I think it would be more like going through other people's, like the common interpretations of it and trying to see like which of those makes the most sense type of thing. We did not solve yeah, okay. Be like, I did not solve Midnight Motorist. I have no fucking idea what's going on. Pretty sure that first sister location one has a baby plush truth in it. Oh, are you talking about the yeah, let's check that one out. I think you're talking about the prediction one, which I actually think is really good. So yeah, I think we'll check this one out.
It's been half a year, so let's do this. Let's solve
So this one, so for context, this one came out July 2016. So there were sister location teasers out, but there was no game. The game had not come out yet, so this is a predictive game theory about it.
The secrets of FNAF sister location months before the game comes out.
Oh, Jesus, Lord Christ, that scared the shit. Woo! Oh my god, that actually scared me. I wasn't paying attention.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, where today the goal is to solve the biggest gaming mystery of 2016 before it even exists. For once, I'm going to get the jump on you, Scott Cawthon, and here's how I'm going to do it. We all know that Scott loves dropping little teaser hints on his sites, but this time, he's tipped his hand a bit too far. Enough for me to get a solid theory going on a lot of key elements we'll see hidden throughout his newest installment,
such a good time. I don't know about
that. While some clues come from the teaser images and trailers themselves, the biggest revelations this time have come from the source code on Scott's website. So get ready for a comprehensive preview of what Scotty has in store, because by the end we'll have looked at every, and I mean every element of this franchise. The video's loud. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down. Series of games to the novel to FNAF World to the ever-evolving source code.
Let me know if that's still loud or if that's good or if it's too quiet.
To expose the facts behind the next trip to Freddy's. Now, Scott hiding hints in the coding of his site is nothing
Video's really loud, Rip. How's that? How's that, guys? Better? Okay. Thank you. If it's still too loud,
more than just a mere hint of what's to come. It is a fully fledged story. So let's take this line by line. This first big chunk at the beginning starts off like a collection of letters and punctuation, but upon further inspection, you can make out repeated numbering patterns and letter combinations representing days of the week. When pieced together, it becomes a schedule looking like this, listing out the days when certain animatronics are either available, booked, needed for a private party, or either in maintenance or needed for a matinee show. It's unclear which. It's also worth mentioning.
It's definitely maintenance there. Schedule theory. Dude, I really liked Schedule Theory. The T-Dreads one. I actually really like Schedule Theory. I don't know why do people not like that? Because he always talks about how it's shitty, or people thought it was shitty, but I thought he was cooking, because the way that it lines up I think makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you guys like it? Yeah, I mean yeah, of course, like there's gonna be some issues with it. This is really an all-timer game theory video. I agree, OmniSub. I think this is one of, if we're talking like accuracy, MatPat this is actually a extremely good game theory video. He cooks our. Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad that you guys liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was kind of one of his best theories, honestly. I just think the way that it lines up in the game just works really well.
Mentioning that 4 animatronics are specifically called out here: BBY for Baby, BAL for Ballora, and FTF for both Funtime Freddy and Funtime Foxy. Now, for those of you who don't follow every scrap of information about these games, let me explain. Reddit discovered that Scott had gone and copyrighted various names, presumably for these new animatronics, and here we see it being confirmed. More on some of these guys in a minute. The thing I want to call out first is that there's clearly a 5th animatronic in this schedule, 05OOS, out of service. But who could this be? In the trailer, we only see 4 animatronics. Well, that's where this teaser image comes in. A few weeks ago, this image was up on Scott Games. A mask with glowing eyes and a tangle of wires, almost like tentacles,
every scrap?
Accompanied by this text.
That's crazy.
Quote, "There's a little bit of me in every
Dude,
body."
he entered inside of him.
Notice the grammar here. It's not everybody, but everybody. This is our 5th animatronic, our out-of-service animatronic.
So I don't know about
look
that.
At it. This guy ain't being booked at any children's parties.
I don't know if entered is the out-of-service animatronic.
But that's not all we can conclude.
I can see why he thought that.
The text indicates that a piece of him, his soul, his mechanisms, whatever, is in every other animatronic body.
Dude,
this could have 2 possible explanations.
Son?
Either he's possessed the other animatronic.
Is this the purple guy's son? Did he enter inside of him? I think he entered inside of him. Dude, I think. Dude, can you imagine if Matt said that in this video, like accidentally? I don't know how that would have happened, but
animatronics and is controlling them, which would explain the "don't hold it against us" line from the teaser trailer we hear over and over again.
He must have thought it felt so tough.
Likely,
it's true, dude.
He's the reason the other
he's like,
animatronics have
he's
life
like,
in
I
the
was really
first
cooking
place.
with that.
This pile of
Everybody.
wires is kind of like the puppet from the original series, giving gifts.
The mimic is just
life.
Diet
Or
Ennard. I
maybe
kind of.
This
I can see
is
that.
the puppet, a new and rebooted version of the puppet. Now, stay with me here.
Mac,
One thing
I
that
could have
we've
changed the
largely
world if you were
forgotten
retired
about
and
since
started
his first
making
appearance
videos on
back in FNAF 2
anatomy.
is how the
I have a
puppet
test
character
tomorrow.
just didn't
Dude,
fit in with the
you're
FNAF
so right.
world. Sure, as it kept making appearances in game
I have a
after
new theory.
game, we
I think
just
Mike and
kinda
FNAF 1 is
accepted
like
its
the
role.
perp guy's son.
Seriously,
No.
think about it. FNAF
I don't
1
think-
through
I
4
don't think
were
that
all
can be
about
true.
animatronics with
His
big,
name is
bulky
Mike,
bodies and an
not
animal
Michael.
theme. But then
he's not
insert the
purple.
puppet, thin and with a human face.
Yeah, Omnisoap,
complete
I
with
hope your
red cheeks,
test goes
crying
okay.
eyes, and red lips. Features that we haven't seen on anything else until now. Fast forward to Sister Location and we see humanoid faces everywhere. Ballora and Baby, rosy cheeks, lipstick. And now look at Day of the
Yeah,
Tentacle
this I
over
don't
here.
know.
Notice that the ears can detach
I mean, I think as a
separate
prediction,
itself
yeah,
from the
but
main
like,
mask part of the
I
face.
think this
It's
just
the
turned out not
exact
to be
same
true.
silhouette
Studying
that our
some
puppet's face has
animatronics.
had since the second game. Additionally, if you look at the trailer for Sister Location very closely, you
yourself
discover
with
what may
Remnant.
be a very cool Easter egg. In the reflection of Funtime Foxy's cheek, we see something. For all the other animatronics, it's a part of their body. For Ballora the ballerina, we see the reverse
guys
of
are
her
funny,
arm
dude.
and earrings. For Baby, it's her finger and bow. But Foxy here is reflecting something that has a bright red dot besides two colored streaks, aka a bright red cheek and two streaming
Yeah, I don't know
tear
about this
tracks.
one, Chief.
It's like that
That
time we
does look
covered-
weird, though. Wait, what do you think? What do you think caused the switch from animals to people? Whoa. What is that? Pablo. Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know what that currency is. But thank you. That's the first donation I ever got. I think that's a donation. I'm not. Thank you. W Pablo. Thank you, dude. Peso. Okay, thank you, Pablo. That's super generous of you, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Frontal lobe, gosh, Ballora. Okay, I don't know if this is what's happening to everyone, but in my chat, it's like translating. It's like YouTube is automatically translating messages. So, like, for example, Kaz said, gosh, Ballora, and it translated it to frontal lobe. Like, what is going on? Is that happening for you guys? Why would it think that means frontal lobe? That doesn't make any damn sense, bruh. Also, yeah. Ballora. Ballora Fredbear confirmed. Yeah, I don't know. I think my shit is cooked. I think I have to look at my settings. I'm so bad at streaming, guys. For me, it's like automatically translating a lot of messages. Digidog, I'm getting to it. All right, hold on 1 sec. I gotta interact with chat a little bit. Yeah, it's like automatically translating some messages, but not all of them. It's very weird. I'm glad it's okay for you guys, though.
We covered reflection mapping to find Super Smash Bros. Hidden location. Could that be the puppet's face reflection mapped onto the model of Foxy's skull? Regardless though, if you ask me, we haven't seen the last of the puppet in whatever form he comes in. And based on the designs of these characters, Sister Location might finally be giving us the origin story
Digitalk has
we've long
places
been
to me.
waiting
It's true.
for. Now, hopping back to the source code, the next section shows us that there seems to be 3
Sorry,
file
I get it.
directories for various
We gotta get
clients.
on with the
first is
video,
for a
you know?
place called Chica's Party World, World, the second for private birthday parties,
Dude,
and the
Secret
third
Companies,
for
you're so right about that.
CRMN Institute.
What
I
other
can only
reason would her
assume
eyes be closed
Harmon
for?
Institute or Criminal Institute. This starts to tell us a lot about the setting
No,
and
it's okay,
universe
Digidog.
of
I'm
Sister
sorry, I wasn't
Location.
trying to be
First,
mean.
many people have speculated that the
I get it.
industrial feeling setting
I
shown
was
during
just-
the
I was
trailer
just
for
being
the
silly,
game
but
is
no,
a
you're all
factory
good.
for the robots. I think we can get a bit more specific. Considering the availability schedule that we just covered and the client folders with various needs for
Someone
birthday
has to keep
party
us locked in. You're
supplies,
so
it feels
right.
like this new
No,
setting will be a
it's
storage
true.
facility and
We're
distribution
just gonna be
center
getting
for the
off track
animatronics,
constantly.
responsible for shipping them out to various
weren't for
gigs across the
Digidog.
Fazbear locations. The reference to Chica's Party World builds out the lore of the universe, showing
Okay,
another
so the
spin-off
Chica's Party
location
World,
to the
we do have to
restaurants,
talk
but
about that.
also strikes.
It's so weird to me that Chica's Party World got mentioned in the source code for Sister Location, but it's never mentioned in Sister Location, and it's never mentioned in like FNAF 6 after that or UCN. And then it's only I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Chica's Party World literally only gets mentioned again in Secret of the Mimic. So it's so, unless I'm like absolutely tripping, but I think that it was only mentioned in the source code here, and then it was mentioned again like years later in Secret of the Mimic. But I don't know. Do you think that the animatronics went to other Fazbear? Yeah, I could definitely see that. I just don't know like how many Fazbear locations we were dealing with. Oh, hold on one sec, guys. I'm back. Sorry, guys. What did I miss? We're talking Jay Bucksmith. Hello, welcome. Liked yours. Oh, thank you, Jay Bucklesmith. I appreciate that a lot. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Scott is leaving threads as he go. Yeah. Fredbear's game that people cried. Yeah, right. Okay, that could literally be the case though, Ami. So he could that could be the next game. I think I might be cooking. What if there's another set of murders? Oh, okay. The Chica's secret party. I have no what is going on with that? I feel like if Chica's secret party was supposed to be something, they would have explained it by now. I saw some people saying that it was literally just AI slop. Like, it was just AI wrote that part of the book, and it just hallucinated like a mini game. Which, to me, I feel like it kind of sounds like it is, because it's so random and it never gets explained anywhere else. You should make a video on it. Are you AI hallucinations or Scott Shopton? What's the difference, you know? FNAF fans on the Chicas reveals. Yeah, no. Yeah, MCI game by Seal will be. No, listen, I'm not scared. I'm not saying it because I just don't don't want to believe it. I'm so confused by it. Like I am literally just like I'm saying it might be AI slop because I am just so utterly confused by what it's talking about. Like, what is it supposed to be? I know because it was like 6 months ago. I think it was around Christmas when that whole thing was going on, and people thought it was like an ARG. You think it's a hint to the next game? I hope so. It just seems so weird. And I'm not gonna rush to saying that it's like it's definitely AI slop. It's just, to me, it's just like what the fuck are they talking about? I like it being a mini game in 5 laps, but I don't know. I scared Ice to see. That's why I'm so on the fence about it, because I have seen a lot of people saying that because we don't know what it's trying to say. And I would definitely prefer it to actually be trying to say something and not just completely random. It's just there's so many weird little, like, I forget what exactly, but there's little phrases like there's like little phrases in it that are so weird and barely make any sense. And it just, there's something wrong. There's something not right about it, dude. If Scott genuinely wanted us to solve Chica's secret party, then he's legitimately insane. I agree. The guidebooks are bad. I also agree. All right, we got to continue with the video though, because I got a little sidetracked, but I agree with the guidebooks being chopped.
Just that, a reference, a fun Easter egg, referencing the one animatronic who won't be appearing in this new
The
game.
guidebooks are
so
absolutely
far, we've
chopped.
seen versions of Freddy, Foxy, and a Bonnie hand puppet, but Chica has been noticeably absent. And honestly, I think it's gonna remain
Yeah, Scared,
that
you should
way.
definitely make a
For some
video
reason,
about
it just feels like she doesn't fit in this new world. And so the mention of Chica's party world is a fun wink and a nod to a character
I would love
that
to
will
watch
be
that.
sorely missed.
And I'm gonna
But to
watch
me,
your other
of
video
all
too,
this
Scared.
section, the most
So later
crucial
on.
client is the
one
last
that,
one,
gave you
the
a shout out.
CRMN Institute. Notice when you look at it that it has a subfolder called Project. This, to me, is incredibly important since every teaser image Scott has posted on the site related to Sister Location has been labeled
Those who know it's a child remnant
Project.jpg. Seems like a
installer.
generic naming convention, right? Wrong. I went to an Internet Archive database and dug through the source code of all the past teaser images from all of Scott's past games, only to find that his labeling system has been very consistent. His FNAF World images were all labeled FNAFWorld.jpg. Images about the book were labeled FNAF the Novel.jpg. Even FNAF 4 teasers shared the
Like
titling of
Criminal Institute doesn't make really much sense to me. What the hell is a Criminal Institute? And yeah, I mean, Child Remnant Installer, I think, makes the most sense, even though it's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of a weird way to phrase that. It's like, what is a Criminal Institute? You know?
simply 4.jpg. The fact that Sister Location's images are all labeled project and that there's a client directory hinting at some mysterious institute and a secret project going on there says to me that if we're not headed to a distribution center, then we're going to a place where these guys are getting experimented on, which ties in with the trailer quote of, "You don't know what we've been through." These guys are being experimented on, a project at some mysterious institute.
This is true. This is true that they are being experimented on. Absolutely. Hold on, so I just put my candle out really quick. Yeah, well, he graduated from a prestigious criminal. That's what it was trying to say the whole time. And yes, okay, I do think, Seeker, that is what the scooper is. It is absolutely injecting Remnant somewhere into something. Like, I think that it's supposed to remove Remnant and store it and then inject it somewhere else. So, like, in my interpretation of it, it would be that it's being injected into the fun times and into maybe William. Like, maybe he's, like, fucking just shooting that shit up, like, straight slamming the Remnant straight into his veins. But other people think it might just be, like, he's injecting the remnant into CC, which, you know, I don't know about that, but yeah, I think that is definitely what the scooper is supposed to be.
Institute, and you can bet that they're not happy about it. But perhaps the most crucial detail hidden in the source code is the last line. A line that blows the door wide open on the story for this new game. Service log,
Afton
maintenance,
Robotics.
CO, or care of, AFTN Robotics. Afton Robotics.
Heroin
What the heck is that?
theory?
It's a good
Yeah,
question.
exactly, dude.
If you're like
He was
99% of the fan
loving
base
it.
and only know the games, this might not ring a bell. But if you happen to buy and then make it through all 500 pages of the Five Nights at Freddy's Silver Eyes novel, then that name sets off all sorts of alarms. You see, in the book, the Fredbear and Fazbear restaurants were founded by
this is
two
the
men.
thing, though,
The first is named
Oh,
Henry.
shit.
He's the
Hold on a
father
sec.
of the main character and the creative half of the company. The one responsible for designing and building the robots that we all know and love. The other
this is the thing with the books, right? And this is the problem I was running into with when I was making my sister location theory, because I was trying really hard to just keep it like games based, but it's literally, there's so much shit in sister location that just does not make any sense without the books, like, and especially because like the Silverized came out I think around the same time as sister location. I think that at that time Scott was really trying to like make it all connect together. Like he wrote Silverized and then was like, I'm gonna make a game that's like connected to this book. Not that it's like in the same continuity, but he definitely wanted it to be. I mean, yeah, because look, it's like you have William Afton, you have Henry coming up in the next game after that, and just so much shit in the games. Like so much of the like the remnant shit has no explanation outside of the books. It's like you really just need the books to understand that. So I know people, you know, people don't like MatPat using the books. And I think in this video people don't have as much of a problem with it, but I know in later videos people would get really on his case about it. But I feel like you gotta use the books. Almost done with reading the Silverized for the first time. Yeah, I read all three Silverized books, like the trilogy. I read the graphic novels because I'm not great at reading. I'm not great at reading words on pages, so I read them in graphic novel form, and I actually really liked them. People, I mean, they're ridiculous, like they're absolutely insane, but I enjoyed them. Sister Location came out December 17th, 2015. Oh, okay, I actually didn't realize that they were that far apart from each other. I thought that they were closer. And I guess you had FNAF World in between that, right? But I'd still assume that Scott was making both of those with the same thing in mind. Hold on one sec. You read the graphic novels too? Oh yeah, I've not actually read the straight up novels. I've only done the graphic ones, but I thought they were good. I enjoyed them.
owner was, ready for this? William Afton, and he was in charge of the business side of the restaurants.
William
Paperwork,
Afton?
taxes, things like
Are you
that.
kidding
So to
me?
see Afton Robotics in the source code teasing Sister Location is huge, because it means that the stories of Sister Location and Silver Eyes are linked. But get ready for this.
No.
Here's the bigger twist. By
You have
the
to go
end
to
of the
bed.
book,
See you
it's
later,
revealed
Emrys.
that
Thanks for
William
tuning
Afton
in.
is what we fans
Hey,
of the
I
game
appreciate it,
would
dude.
know
Thank
as the
you for
Purple Guy.
tuning
Yeah,
in and
in the
chatting.
book, Purple Guy is
Hope you have a
revealed.
good night.
Afton is the one who kidnaps and kills
see
children
you
while
around.
wearing Fredbear-themed suits. His first victim is Henry's son Sammy, followed by 4 other kids, whose souls eventually possess the infamous suits. So, through these source code teasers, not only has Scott confirmed that this new game will be tied to the lore of the book, but will be dealing with a robotics company founded by and named after the child-killing Purple Guy. Now that's already a huge mind blow, and I'm about to go further, but before I do, let's
Feels
address
like the
the
novel
elephant in the
trilogy was
room,
made
the
for-
canonicity of the
Yeah,
book. The internet, by and
Digidog.
large, dismissed Silver Eyes under the assumption that Scott
I
said
agree.
it's not
But then where
canon
does
to the
Frights
first 4
fit in?
games, but that's not entirely true.
Well,
if you
hold on
read
one
his
sec,
entire
MatPat. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that the Silver Eyes are super. There is a lot of crossover with like the original Scott set of games, like up to Sister Location, stuff like that. And then and Tales is more Steel Wool oriented, but then what is Frights? A lot of Frights is just like I don't know what they're trying to say. I know T-Dreads had that whole Into the Pit theory, but yeah, if he insane discussed that Sister Location was no, dude, there is absolutely no way. That would be unbelievable. But no, I think that I personally, I mean, I might be biased because of my video, but I think Sister Location fits in really well into the games. Like, it's very different and has a lot of crazy shit going on in it. But I do like the story of Sister Location ultimately. I'll be reading Silver Eyes and Frights maybe this month. Yeah, it's I've watched the Gibby 36-hour video going through all of Frights, so I've basically read it myself, and I think a lot of them are very interesting. Yeah, let's get back to the video really quick. We're almost done.
Statement. And I understand that it's hard for you, Internet, since it's 3 whole paragraphs that aren't summarized with a TLDR.
Wow, Matt.
He actually says,
bold of you would
quote,
assume I can't
sometimes
read.
the lore of something can become so crowded that you can't tell an original story anymore. The first 4 games and the books should be considered to be separate continuities, even if they do share many familiar elements. The book is canon just as the games are. That doesn't mean that they're intended to fit together like 2 puzzle pieces.
So with the whole canon shit is like, does Scott know? The interactives are very good. Yeah, those also look cool too. Yeah, I think those look cool, especially if you don't read that much. Yeah, this is so weird though, because does Scott actually know what canon means? Like, is he literally, because he says the book is canon, but he's talking about that it is, like, what does he mean? Because if it's not in the same continuity as the games, then what does he mean that it is canon? I think that, because I know he says it's a reimagining. But part of me really thinks that he just, if he said that the books are straight up not canon, like if he ever said that about anything, they would sell 0 copies. Like nobody would care about them. So he kind of has to say that they're canon. And then he can't have it in the same continuity because the game's continuity is chopped and doesn't make any fucking sense. Well, I guess neither does the Silver Eyes. None of the continuities make sense. So Sensei's Location Pizzeria Simulator. Yeah, that would be crazy. I mean, that sounds interesting, Seeker of Comfiness, but I cannot wrap my head around that. That would be crazy. Like the Star Wars friend, he seems to think canon equals official. Yeah, I agree. And he says the movies aren't canon yet, they make a bunch of money. That is true, Digidog. I guess, like, with the books, because he's gone out of his way to, like, specifically say that the books are canon, or they are canon, but they're not in the same continuity. Because books is different than the movie, right? It's like, if you want to, like, I think a lot of people bought the Silver Eyes because at that point it was like, it's a FNAF book. It's a novel set in the FNAF games. It's going to have lore. But I think the movie is just, like, it's fun to see. It's fun to see a movie of FNAF, on the big screen. And I think people don't care as much about that actually being canon. But I think also at the same time, like, if he went out and said that, like, the movies have nothing to do with the games, like, he would never say that, because I think that would actually make them less money. Scott isn't just chopped at writing, I guess. Well, that could well be true.
The book is a reimagining of the
writer on
Five
Earth.
Nights at Freddy's story, end quote. And this makes sense, right? The first 4 games were crushed under their own convoluted lore and fan base dedicated to making every new toe added to Foxy mean something. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing to have people enthusiastic about your story, but it does become limiting when you make continuity errors or want to do something new with these characters. And with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming ever closer, it becomes even more important.
Oh yeah, that's when I think Warner Brothers was doing the FNAF movie, and it was supposed to come out like way long ago. Have you seen the debates that spawned from the films? That is true, Digidog, about if Michael being a different character in the games. I don't know about that, but yeah, I know those who know that. Can you imagine? Sometimes I think about that. Like, what would a 2018 FNAF movie be like? Like, it would be nothing like the Blumhouse, the actual movie that we got. It would be totally different. But what would it be? Like, what would it even be about? It'd probably suck. Like, I think there's a reason that Scott delayed it so much. Like, he actually, for as much as we make fun of him, I think he wanted the movie to actually be good. And I do think that the first movie is good. I know. I will say that. The second movie is chopped. The first movie, I think, is really good. But I think Scott took his time because he just really wanted, he wanted to make sure that the studio that did it justice and did a good job. So I don't like, what would a fucking Warner Brothers 2018 FNAF movie be about? I have no idea. Mike Schmidt equals Michael after the fact, absolutely. More chopped than what we got, probably. I agree. And I would say that I think that there are parts of the first FNAF movie that are chopped, but I ultimately think that it was a good movie because Mike and Abby were actually well-written characters that had development, and they were fun to watch. They were interesting. They were endearing. I liked their relationship together. It was interesting. But then, in the second movie, that all went out the fucking window. No character development. Mike turned into a fucking asshole for no reason. He's just yelling at Vanessa, saying just one thing after another with you and for no reason. So everything I liked about the first movie was basically removed in the second movie. But we don't have to talk about that,
There needed to be room to insert actual characters into this story. You can't make a movie out of some pre-taped phone tutorials and silent furry monsters. Thus, enter Silver
that is kind of what happened.
Which builds out new characters, new faces, and new stories that can be told in the setting of these games. So yeah, the separate canonicity of the book makes sense, but as Scott said, it's a reimagining. And obviously there's gonna be a lot of crossover. And based on that Afton clue we just saw, Sister Location is gonna be bridging the line more and more.
Kaz,
does any of this matter? Actually, a whole lot. Because if we take the Silver Eyes Sister Location
those who know Jeremiah and the
logical
novelization,
conclusion, huge pieces start to fall
Abby
in place.
became a
Let's start by
Rose,
working backwards. Based on the trailers and teasers, Sister Location's main animatronic is this clown girl.
Those who know,
but the teaser
Jeremiah
trailer isn't
and
the first
FNAF
time she
2
appears.
movie
She's introduced at the end of the
canon.
FNAF World Update 1.2, something we discovered in our playthrough of the game over on the GT Live channel. Once you collect all the characters and beat Chica's Magic Rainbow, long story not worth explaining, you're immediately taken to a cutscene where a mysterious figure at a desk apologizes to you for creating a robot that cannot be deactivated.
There
The
probably
bot's
will be a
name,
little bit of a time
Baby.
jump.
We then see a pair of eyes light up, telling everyone to take their seats before cutting back to the room to see the desk guy lying there dead, presumably killed by Baby. Now, many people assume that desk guy was Scott Cawthon since he's the creator of the animatronics and the minigames that you play in FNAF World. However, it'd be weird for Scott to kill himself. Plus, the dialogue from the FNAF in Space minigame,
would be weird
yes,
for Scott
again,
Cawthon
FNAF
to
World is a
fucking
weird
kill
game,
himself.
seems to imply that Scott is a separate entity from this desk guy creator figure. So if desk guy isn't Scott Cawthon, then who else could he be? Well, now that we know that Baby and Sister Location both have ties to Silver Eyes, we can actually identify who this mysterious creator of FNAF World is. He's Henry, co-founder of Fredbear's and Purple Guy's business partner. How do we know? Well, not only is he the creator of the games and animatronics, his death also lines up with the way he dies in the book, stricken with grief over the death of
Do you think, I forget if you said earlier, sorry, but do you think that also Desk Guy is Henry? Or at least he was supposed to be in this cutscene? Because I actually liked Desk Guy being Henry. Like, I kind of wish that that was still the case. I know it's supposed to be, like, it's supposed to be Scott just in, like, a meta way or something. But I kind of like Desk Guy being Henry. No, you don't think that? Yeah, I'm kind of... I'm so tired right now. I feel like my brain is slowing down. I'm trying to think of what counters Desk Guy being Henry, other than just FNAF World being weird. But I feel like people strongly disagree with that theory now. Clavis Key made me believe it. I don't know what that is. Speaking of World, I wish people would talk more about that game. I agree. The meta narrative, yeah, I think Henry dies in a fire. What if Desk Guy is Steve Snodgrass? Is Digidog, are you actually MatPat's alt account? Does, oh yeah, and I guess Secret of Comfiness, Gibby in the arcade theory thought that because Henry made the arcade games, then, like, that's what that means. Talking about deactivated my games. Which I could see being the case. But yeah, FNAF World is hard. Because there's so much meta shit in it, and then there's also lore. So I don't know if Desk Guy is supposed to be Scott or not. Scott or not.
Of his son, Henry, commits suicide in the living room by letting one of his animatronics kill him. One that remains nameless in the book, but is clearly not any of the core 6 of Freddy, Foxy, Chica, Bonnie, Golden Freddy, and Golden Bonnie. In other words, Henry the creator is killed in his home by a mysterious new animatronic, just like we see happen to Desk Guy in FNAF World. The events just line up. Now that's all the stuff that I feel really confident about, but now let's have some fun and take it even further. Admittedly, I don't think that this is where Sister Location is headed, but there is enough of an evidence thread to take us to some awesome extremes. So let's have a little bit of fun with this, shall we? First, notice how Baby is introduced to us at the end of FNAF World as 2 yellow eyes in the dark. And what's the first image we see in that game? 2 yellow eyes in the dark, along with the iconic ending line from FNAF 4, I will put you back together. It's also the last thing that we see in the true ending to the game. 2 yellow eyes saying, I will put you back together. Now,
All right. Arcade theory is pretty cool. In the plush, I think she died. I think that's just Scott. Henry, Chris, maybe William. Yeah. Conehead Man. Yes, I have Mike. I was leaving the video on while I quickly went to the restroom. Okay. So he's talking about now the yellow eyes. Yellow eyes is the same as Baby, which our friend Seeker of Comfiness also thinks, because Baby is the Fredbear plush. Question mark. But the thing, I mean, yeah, and we've talked about already, but people point out that the eyes that are there they're differently shaped. I think Baby's eyes in that cutscene are like little star shaped when these ones are like squares. But why the fuck would Scott making FNAF World have 2, if he wanted them to be different characters, then why would he have two mysterious, ghostly, shadowy figures that both have just 2 little eyes, like 2 glowing eyes, and then, but the only way to tell the difference between them is that they're shaped a little differently. Like, that is such a weird way to that is such a weird way to, like, make a distinction there. I don't know. Square equals Cassidy. So I mean, yeah, that's where I'm leaning, but it is so weird. And also, I mean, I don't know, Square being Cassidy, like, if there is a Cassidy, I am obviously, I'm a Cassidy denier, but if there is a Cassidy, then yes. I gotta do some more FNAF World analysis, I think. The iTunes is part of the meta narrative. It signifies how Elizabeth's story role shifted. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. Because when Scott was making FNAF 4, I don't know if he would have fully thought all of that after Scott decided to continue the story. I know, that's the thing that's tricky, because in my opinion, like, he did plan for the story to continue. Because, like, we have the empty girl's room and the box, which is what it was supposed to, like, continue on into something else. So it's weird that he would not plan that better, but it is Scott we're talking about. A Secret of Confidence, I think you're onto something, honestly. I have a crack theory that Golden Freddy was recycled to make Circus Baby. That is a crack theory. Scared. I'm guessing maybe one of your thoughts about that is that Baby is kind of slumped over before she enters inside of Michael, like in that one scene. You probably know what I'm talking about. She kind of slumped over like Golden Freddy. And Scott is the same guy who gave Mike a purple shirt. Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Those who know that the Foxy Brothers actually phone guy.
Two yellow eyes in the dark, along with the icon even in FNAF 4. And 2, we all know that line and those eyes belong to the imaginary friend, Psychic Friend Fredbear. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who are you gonna call? Psychic Friend Fredbear. Well, don't be so sure.
Right now.
Let me remind you of something. In the FNAF 4 cutscenes, each character has a specific color for their dialogue. Number 787878 for the brother, FFFFFF for crying child, 57C0FF for the brother's friend, etc. Psychic Friend Fredbear's dialogue for all of his lines is always FFFF57 shade of yellow. And yet, for the final lines of You're Broken, We're Still Your Friends, I Will Put You Back Together, it's a different shade of yellow. FFFFA0. Similar, yes, but definitely different from Fredbear. So very intentionally, Scott made this a different character, but in a strange twist, it's actually a color of dialogue shared with one other character we see in FNAF 4, so, Pigtail Girl.
This, I feel like, is a mistake. Like, I could see Eliza Plush being a thing, but I think the color change thing, the fact that, just wait for it to be M1, yeah, seriously though, it's possible. But I think the fact that this Pigtail Girl, her dialogue color is the same as Fredbear, only in the last line. It means that that tells me that Scott was going into Click Team, or I don't know if he used Click Team to make all of the graphics as well, but I think he went in there and he was looking for the yellow, and he picked the wrong fucking yellow, and he made a mistake. I think the shared text color with the Pigtails Girl, I think the font speaker is also a little girl. Yeah, I mean, Secret of Confidence, if you do think that Scott is actually, like, he really intended for that, then that would be a great explanation, but I just think, to me, it just really looks like he fucked it up, because it's like, I could see if I was making, I'm not a game developer, but if I'm making some graphic thing, I'm like, let's say I'm making a thumbnail or a series of thumbnails or something, and I'm going and I'm like, I need the yellow text for this one that I used my other yellow text. I'm gonna grab one of my previously used yellow colors, and then I just fucking grab the wrong one because it's so similar. Obviously, content of text are taken from a preset dial. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I could see that he just he put it on the wrong. He put on the wrong dial, dude. He put the dial on the wrong color. But that is shitty, though. I don't really like theories like that. They're just like, Scott. The true answer is that Scott is a fucking moron. Or under loop victims to show CC associates Baby with the voice of that. Yeah, loop victim. I agree with parts of it. I think. I don't know. I'm getting really tired, guys. It's not even that late for me, but I've had a long day. I had a job interview today. There's some lore. I just graduated college, and I need a job because I was a student worker. And what's great about being a student worker is that you get fired immediately after you are no longer a student, which means that I'm taking my Bachelor of Arts degree in communication, and I'm hawking it around like a whore to all different types of people. Say, please hire me. Please. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the congrats. And yes, hopefully I will be a job haver once again. But, you know, if as long as I don't have a job, it's more time to cook these amazing FNAF videos. Good luck. Thank you, guys. I'll let you know at the next stream how that's going, if it's going anywhere. But yeah, it's tough out there, guys. You graduate college, and there's no guarantee that you're gonna get a job right away. It's a tough market. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go to bed. We're so how close are we to the end of the video? We're close, right? Let's finish this. Let's finish the video. But I think we're almost there.
The one who knows that the animatronics come to life and get stuffed with dead bodies. Coincidence? Yeah, or at least we all thought so last year. But look at her design, dressed in a skirt with reddish pigtails and big green eyes, just like the design of
yeah, so I think that
Hear that?
ended up
The
not
collective
being true.
sound of minds being blown across the internet. But if the glowing eyes, shared dialogue color, similar designs, and repeated line of "I will put you back
It's a
together"
toy
didn't
girl.
convince you, it doesn't stop there. Remember the biggest lingering question from FNAF
I just
4?
can't
The
believe it
girls'
was a
room?
toy girl,
No
dude.
one had an explanation for it. I didn't have an explanation for it, and yet Scott felt it was important enough to the lore
Yeah,
of
so
the
this
story
is
to show
exactly the
us.
thing,
And now
right?
we might actually know why. What if the girl is a part of the crying child's family? First, it would explain why we would see her color of dialogue reappear.
No. Okay, so he's talking about the girls' room here, and I think the girls' room, it's intentionally left empty. Well, we were talking about this earlier. It's intentionally empty. But I think the reason that it's empty is because Elizabeth is dead, or she's missing. It would be so weird narratively for it to be like the room is empty, but it's just because she's just down the street right now. She's just playing outside. Like, how would there would be really no point of doing that? Like, if Scott really intended it for it to be like Elizabeth is the toy girl. And I'm not just trying to shit on this theory. Like, I'm not trying to be just like, this theory's stupid. Like, no, I totally see, I get it. But like Scott could have just had the toy girl in the girls' room. Unless that would have like given too much away, if that's what he was trying to go for. I don't know. Just feels so weird that the girls' room would be empty and she's just down the street. Circus Babies launches after Freddy's closes, though. I don't think so. Scared. I think that it is the sister location and it's open at the same time as Freddy's, and then the rental shit is what opens up after. But it is confusing the way that Hand Unit talks about that. I believe that Elizabeth died after the bite because the intro of sister location. I don't know. It's the animatronic rental bunker. Yeah. I could see Elizabeth. I know. All I know is that I am like damn near 100% convinced that Elizabeth dies before the FNAF 4 cutscenes. So I don't know how long before that she died, but I think that she's already dead. I think that the empty girls' room is showing clearly that she's dead. But to each their own with that.
appearing in his final moments. As a family member, she would be there in the hospital with the boy as he tries to recover.
really
and if she
thought he was
shares a
cooking
connection
with
with
this.
Baby, it would
But as
also
a
tie together
predictive
the
theory,
random
it's
presence
not
of
bad.
Mangle in the room. One of the other key animatronics we see in Sister Location trailer.
And yeah, I do think that the Mangle being in there is supposed to be like a reference to Funtime Foxy. And I think that's just more evidence that Scott was like planning on doing Sister Location next. Yeah, exactly, Kaz. I think that it is just another thread that he left. Like, I don't think it was meant to be solvable by FNAF 4. It was meant to be like, this is like where it's going next with fucking Mangle and Elizabeth, or the empty, the missing sister. What do you all think the toys are meant to be? It's so... Oh, boy. We were talking earlier at the beginning, Jay Bucklesmith, about the toys being like fucking little tiny killbots, because there's apparently some evidence for that. And Toy Chica missing her beak could be to say that she's trying to kill people, that she's in that violent attack mode. And then there's Plush Trap. For me personally, I don't know. I don't have a great answer to it. The rental place opens after Baby, so the order is the same. True, but I see it as like Fredbear's / Freddy's, whatever the FNAF 4 restaurant is open. Circus Baby's Pizza opens then, and then they're simultaneously open together for one day. Plushies Take Manhattan script. Okay, Jay Bucklesmith, that was actually that got brought up earlier when we were talking about that, which is funny. But yeah, I think Circus Babies opens same time as Freddy's. Circus Babies closes. Freddy's fucking closes eventually. I don't know when. I don't know when, if it's that location or if it's the FNAF 2 location or whenever. And then the rentals opens up later. But it's like, this is why I don't want to make like a full timeline video, because it's like, that is so hard to explain all of that. Like, that is so incoherent. We don't know if between yeah, exactly. Seeker of Comfiness. I don't like placing the fun times earlier than 87. Yeah, no. The thing is, Scared, it's like from a writing standpoint, the fun times being earlier than the toys in terms of like robots getting made is like crazy, because the fun times are like so advanced. They're like absolutely ridiculous. Like they're like completely they're absolutely cracked. So yeah, I mean, them existing as early as 1983 is like so weird, but I think that's just what it is. Like, it's stupid and crazy, but that's what the old Scott was going for. Let's head on back to the video. We're almost there, guys.
Is Funtime Foxy, which we can confidently say is an intact model of what will eventually become Mangle.
Hard.
Again, we're looking at the major details. Yes, some things may or may not be there. Notice the lipstick, the red cheeks, and
Funtime Foxy being Mangle in some way, I do think is true. I don't know if it's like it's the same exact robot or if it's a different version of Funtime Foxy that gets mangled, but that's got to be true, right? Like, why else would Funtime Foxy look like
painted
this?
fingernails on Funtime Foxy, all of which reappear on Mangle. So in the two games, we would have Baby and Foxy linked. Is it a stretch? Absolutely. But then again, this is Scott we're talking about. To me, though, the coolest part about this connection would be in the name of the game. This whole time, we've been assuming that Sister Location was referencing some other spin-off chain of restaurants, or, like I said earlier, a storage and distribution center for the robots. But if the
yeah, I think we're basically done with the MatPat video. I think we got through all his major points there, so I'm just gonna hop back over to read some chat. The way I see it, Circus Baby was made before 1987, but the other fun times. I could see that being the case. Like there's very strong evidence that Circus Baby is around back then. But it's hard to say when the other fun times were made. Kaz, I don't know if I did see your explanation. Oh, you gotta go. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, dude. Again, thank you. You're a 2-time. You've been to both my streams so far. You've 100%ed it. So thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. And I'll see you again sometime. Thanks for liking my tweet. Oh, okay. On my sister location video, I have a lot of comments to go through there, but I'll definitely check that out. I hope you in the next. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. You're a real one. I feel like Secret of the Mimic leaning hard in the fun times being early. Yeah, I agree. I think that's like now that we have Secret of the Mimic, which has like even more crazy advanced robots and shit even earlier. Because that's like confirmed to be like 1979, and then we already at that point have fucking endoskeleton that can grow and shrink into a child and is like fully sentient, and we have a fully sentient goddamn server computer Fiona F10 whatever it is in the basement. I think that is like, yeah, then the fun times, why not the fun times whenever? Why not the fun times that early? Because shit is already just absolutely insane. Okay, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it, guys. We made it through 2 MatPat videos, and we had a lot of good discussion, and this is a lot of fun. I gotta. Oh no, your secret accompanist, you're absolutely good because it's basically over. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And thanks for all of your awesome Elizaplush based theories. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. And I will probably stream again soon. I think I want to do more MatPat reactions because it's kind of a good jumping off point for talking about stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for catching the stream. I appreciate it. But yes, this is really fun. I know it was. I'm glad you had fun too, Jay Bucklesmith. Yeah, it was really fun. I appreciate you guys chatting with me as we watched. It was a good time. Yeah, and I'll be back. I don't have like a consistent streaming schedule or anything yet at the moment. Scared, thank you too. You have been the #1 chatter in here. Digidog, if you're still around, thank you too. I appreciate you guys. OmniSoap, I'm not sure if you're here also, but thank you. And if Pablo is still here with the donation, my first ever donation streaming, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. That is awesome. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna head out, but I'll see you guys. See you guys around. Take care.